Okay, so welcome everybody to this webinar. This is the third product update that we are going to do this year. I'm very glad to be here. I am Nacho Alvarez. I am product manager of PV Design. Before starting the webinar, we are going to wait just a couple of minutes in order to let the other people reach this webinar. I hope you enjoy. I'm very excited about presenting you the features of the Q3, and yeah, let's see if we fulfill your needs. So I have to remind you that you have a question box, so you can write your questions, and later we will answer them. So feel free to start writing everything that you would like to know about PV design, about the new features. And at the end of the webinar, we are going to spend like 20 minutes answering your questions. Okay, so yeah, I think that we can start the webinar. As I mentioned, I am Nacho Alvarez. I am product manager of PV design. This is the third product update that we are going to do this year. And here you will have the agenda for the meeting. So 20-25 minutes presenting you the latest updates, and then a Q&A session, 20 minutes. So I encourage you to write all your questions in the question box. So also, if you have any questions, you have a chat, and we will also answer your questions there. Cool. So we are going to start with July 2022. We deploy a new user management tool. We changed the architecture of the role system of PV design. This is going to improve how PV design is developed in the future. The change also include a revised user management screen with a better user experience than before. I don't know if you could watch the video. You need to go to the users tab, and here you are going to see like 3 views, all manager and users. And the good thing about that is that the managers can edit the name, the title, the status, the role of the people that form the company. It is easy just to change the name and then just save it. So we start with this feature in order to improve our management profile in like a PV design. So let's go for the next feature of July, that is the automatic map centering. So, well, as you may notice, when you are working on the design process screen, if you would like to modify something about the PV plant, the map is going to be centered and give all the perspective of the PV plant. If you go to the battery energy storage system tab, the map will be centered and will assume the battery area. Next one, we improve our DC bus configuration. So after speaking with some of our clients that were using the DC bus system, we reached a decision that we needed to improve how we were performing the DC bus cabling system. So at this moment, the DC buses are now installed in air as one single cable, and they are going to collect all the string cables until reaching a combiner box. From the combiner box to the inverter, the cable will go directly buried. You can watch this in your layout. As you can see here, this orange line is the DC bus cabling that is collecting all the strings cable directly to the combiner box. From the box to the inverter that is here, like within the power station, the cable will run in a trench. Also, all the information about the DC bus can be found in the design report in this section, the equipment section, section 4. Also, you will have all the single line diagrams representing the DC bus and the bill of quantities. Okay, cool. So we reached the end of July. Let's go to August 2022. And this was a really good month for the product team. First of all, we improved the algorithm to draw the roads, also the fences and the low voltage cables. You will see a significant difference between the perimeter rows and the new perimeter rows that were with this new algorithm we provide. You will have a more detailed information in the bill of quantities in the surface of the roads. And this improvement is especially noticeable with configuration using perimeter rows and complicated site definitions. And also, as mentioned, we improve how the fence is laid down and how the low voltage trajectories are drawn. I don't know if you can see like the differences of the perimeter roads here, like the before and after. Okay, let's go to the next feature of August. Soulcast integration. In the previous quarter, we implemented Solar Anywhere. So Soulcast is our second meteorological data provider. It's very easy to recover the data from Soulcast if you are a client of Soulcast. If you don't know how to do that, remember that you always have a knowledge base that helps you how to set your API key for metadata integration. It is very detailed. If you have more questions about that, also you can reach our customer success team. You just have to go to My Company, to Integrations, and here you will see Soulcast. If you edit, you can include your API key, and then you can click this button if you would like that automatically PVDesign recover the Soulcast meteorological data for all your projects. Also tell us if you would like to have more meteorological data providers. Just add it in your in the question box. Then we migrate our site details and topography detail model to Mapbox. It is a faster data provider, so the data that you will see in the screen is going to be charged faster. And you just have to go to the location tab, to the site and topography section, and just click on show details of the tab of the site and of the topography. We go for the battery energy storage system. We included the MV-LV single line diagram after deploying the design report of the battery system. The layout of the battery system and the bill of quantities of the battery system. The only document that we needed in order to have like a complete module of simulation was the single line diagram. You will see each medium voltage line represented in its own page. and you are going to see the entire system, batteries, inverters, power stations, and cables. Also, you don't know how to simulate an AC coupled battery system in PV design, you can go to the knowledge base again. And in order to download the single line diagram, what you can do is to go to all documentation and download the zip. Within the zip, you will see the single line diagram. As soon as we can, it will be included in this in the list of documents. I'm going to show you more or less the single line diagram. You can see the medium voltage line with the battery system represented here, with the hours of supply, the inverters, and the medium voltage cubicles. Also the sizing of the cables. And then you will have here some notes telling you the characteristics of the medium voltage line, and then a legend in order to easily identify all the elements of the single line diagram. Okay, so let's go for the next release, and this is the overhead line. What we include here is the transmission or distribution line. You can easily have the basic engineering documentation for this transmission or distribution lines that connects the step-up substation or the switching and breaking station to your point of interconnection. The only thing that you need to do is to define a path within your KML, and one of the points should start in the ST polygon. The other one should reach your point of interconnection. Once you have that, you can upload it to PV Design, and we are going to automatically calculate the overhead line for you. If you have a switching and breaking station, we are going to give you a medium voltage overhead line or distribution system. If you have a step-up substation, we are going to calculate the high voltage line for the transmission system. The algorithm will consider the elevation of the ground in order to locate the towers. We are going to calculate the height of the towers, the size of the towers, the size of the conductors, all the electrical characteristics, the pi model of the line, and the mechanical loads. And you will have the design report, the bill of quantities, and a drawing. In order to do that, just have in mind that you need to upload a path in your KML. Here you can see that the beginning of the OHL is inside the substation, and then you can draw your overhead line directly to your point of interconnection. So as I told you, we are going to calculate all the parameters, and they will be shown in the layout. You will have the height of the towers, like the points. We are going to define the blocks. As you can see here, we consider the ground elevation, the cables, the conductors. You will have some information here in the notes and the legend. And also you will have the overhead line report. Here, as usual in a PV design report, you will have some site details, the description of the overhead line with the capacity of the line, the number of circuits, the number of subconductors, the position of all the towers, and some environmental information, line characteristics, pi model, and mechanical calculation. Also, you will have the bill of quantities for the overhead line in your bill of quantities Excel file. Here you have the number, like the units of towers that you have, suspension angle, the bends, conductors, the length of the conductors, and insulators. Cool. So with that, I have to mention that also you have a knowledge base here in order to know how to create the overhead line. Also, if you have any questions, you can reach our customer success team. And also you will have the overhead line methodology in order to see how we calculate everything in the overhead line. Okay, so with that in mind, this was a huge release in August, but nothing compared with one of the biggest releases in PV design that was more or less 1 month ago, and it is this interactive site creator. So you can define your own site within PV design, and we are going to give you like all the tools in order to define your available areas, your access point, your substation polygons, restricted areas, battery areas, OHLs, and also you can modify the site that you have uploaded before the interactive site creator. If you would like more detailed information, you can go to the knowledge base. As always, all the detailed information is here. And I'm going to tell you how to use this interactive site creator. So when you are in the design process tab here, where you the screen where you introduce the inputs, you have to go to site, and here you have this create new site. If you come here, if you have already KMLs within your project, you are going to see that automatically we find the center of your project. So here within this diameter, you can create unlimited KMLs. And you have three main uses of this interactive site creator. First of all, create your site from scratch. And as you know, you have to fulfill with some requirements in order to have a good KML. And these are the requirements. You should upload an available area, an access point, a substation polygon, and an MB point. So at this moment, as we do not have these polygons defined in the KML, we cannot save our site. So you should, define your available areas. You can be as precise as you want, as accurate as you want, because you can zoom in, zoom out. You can define the available area. Here, this is super interesting. Once you define an available area, we are going to warn you and say, hey, you should upload and define an AC point. So you go to place mark, you define an AC point here. Okay, so now like the available area and the AC point are okay. Then you should define the substation and then the MB point of the substation that is here. Once you have these elements, you can save the site. You can save as a draft or save as new site. Even you can create more polygons, restricted areas, battery areas, etc. You need to save as new site. You have to name it, and it will be saved. So this is the first mode in order to use this interactive set creation. Then the other mode is to import some previous KMLs. So here you can import previous KMLs. For example, this one from the webinar. This is a previous KML that I have uploaded to the project. So import all the elements, and then now I can, add more areas to the site and save it as a new site. But then you have also a third mode in order to import elements, and is to drag a file. For example, I have here like an area defined in the KML. I didn't put any name, so I add an area, and I have to define this area, if this area is going to be an available area, or if it's going to be an restricted area, a substation, or a material area. Then if you have the access point, now with this interactive site creator, I have a KML in just a few seconds in my PV Design account. So once you save it, you just need to wait like 5 seconds, and it will be included in your design process. And finally, we go to the structure importer feature. So we released this feature just a few days ago, and as you may know, in the past you can upload your own modules, your own inverters, but you couldn't upload your own extractors. You need to reach the customer success team in order to create new extractors. However, at this moment, you can create these new extractors, and they will be in your private database. Also, you have the knowledge base to learn how to do that, and you just have to go to equipment, to extractors, and here you can create a new extractor from scratch. One tracker, some you can name the model of the extractor, you can name the manufacturer, you can choose if it is one module in portrait or landscape, the maximum number of modules, if it is recommended for bifacial, and some other characteristics. And then you can define how the posts or like the piles are defined in the extractor. Once you create the extractor, it will be automatically in your private database. Also, you can clone the previous extractors that you have defined with this button, clone. Okay, and then you can modify some parameters and save again the extractor. You are going to you can use these extractors in the project. Let me show how to do that. If you go to equipment, in the extractor section, you can change your extractors, and if you order by database, the first one in the private database is like the extractor that I have created for the webinar. You can choose it and automatically recalculate your PV plant with your extractor. So with that, I hope you enjoy this brief presentation of the features of this quarter. Thank you very much. So if you have more questions, just write them down in the question box, and I'm going to so the first one was from Carlos Smith. Thank you very much for the question. Are you planning to add an arbitrage function for the battery energy storage system based on future price forecast? This is something that we have thought about. At this moment, we only have the AC coupled battery storage system. In order to have more batteries, maybe we go through the DC coupled battery system, and then we will go to the different energy dispatch strategies. In order to know more about that, I will, if you are available to have a small talk about that, I will appreciate it. Also because this kind of energy dispatch strategies are very customized, so we will try to give you the maximum value. In order to do that, we will need to understand all your needs in order to give you like the tool that will solve all the requirements that you have. Okay, for overhead lines, any plan to make it customized, OHL or buried cable? There are many cases where the direct buried cable more economical and faster implemented. Mustafa Mohamed, thank you very much for the question. So at this moment, we are working on customize the inputs for the OHL. Some of the inputs that we would like to customize are the type of towers, the number of circuits, number of subconductors, and the proper conductor that you can choose. So yeah, it is in our roadmap. Buried cable or overhead line. At this moment, we only have overhead lines. For the medium voltage system, we have medium voltage cables that are buried in trenches, but not for high voltage. We need to study that in order to see if we are going to implement this in the future. And yeah, I agree with you that it will be interesting to have both options in the software. Okay, so Huafeng, can we choose what type of line or material for the design of the overhead line? At this moment, you can't. It is automatically designed. We were following the PV design philosophy. First, we release an MVP where everything is more or less automatic, and then as we have as soon as we receive feedback from our clients, we start tackling the customization or some other features. But for that, we are going to work in the customization of the type of tower and the conductor. Any updates will be done soon for the cost tool? Mohamed Osama, thank you for the question. At this moment, we like for the short term, we do not have any features that we are going to implement. I would like to know more about what are your needs in terms of the cost tool. So maybe I can reach you after the webinar in order to know more about these updates. Okay, so Dali, is there any function like define the type of MB transformer? So like here, I don't know like if it is regarding the transformers of the step-up substation, it will be a function to determine which type of MB, like which type of HV transformer you will have to choose for the transformers of the power station. At this moment, we do not have it prioritized. However, as soon as we receive more feedback about that, this feature will be prioritized in our role. Fahad Al Samsi, sorry if I don't pronounce it well, the names. And thank you very much for your question. How can I add more BOS in the pricing tab? Okay, so in the pricing tab, I think that we have here we have some units that you can define in your template. Well, you can define your BOS based on the main peak power, but then you can choose between some of these. Let me see. Well, I will reach you with that question after the webinar. I know that we have defined some units that you can choose, and you can customize your template. You can define, like for the cost template, like you have all these units, and then you can put like the name, like the entry of your cost, and you can customize as you want. Like later, I will try to answer this question. Okay, so Farid Moser, will there be an update to be able to place two different types of structures in one project? For example, 2v28 and 2v14. Yes, this is going to be short term. Absolutely, it was one of the feedback that we received the most. You will be able to combine different lengths for the trackers. Let's see if in this quarter we release this feature, but soon you will have this feature. Like here in the equipment tab, you will be able to select the maximum number of strings per extractor, and also the strings, like if you, for example, select 3, you will have the possibility to choose 2 and 1, and you will be able to combine in order to fill like these spaces of the layout and increase the install capacity. Yeah, absolutely. And at this moment, we are in the final stage of the validation for this feature. So yeah, you will have it. And also, Farid, will there be an update on the location of the roles to decide where to put the roles? Here, this is something that we plan in the long term. We are planning to give you more details in order to interact with the layout. So Farid, I will appreciate it if we can connect and we can speak about this topic specifically, because regarding the kind of needs that you have, maybe we can think about different solutions. Okay, so Risky is asking about, hi, how to avoid creating two Collada files on the downloaded Collada file. On top of that, sometimes the Collada files are not easily imported to PVCs due to multiple azimuths and tilts. How can this be avoided? Okay, so in order to have more information about the PV Collada files, you can go to the knowledge base and you can search for like how to export a PV tracker scene to PVSys and how to export a PV fixed structure scene to PVSys. Let me ask about the file's size, because I think it was done due to integration between PVSys and the Collada file. I don't know if PVSys can import like a great amount of information. Let's say. For that reason, we decided to divide the Collada file into two or three Collada files. Okay, I don't know if you have more questions. Regarding the interactive site creator, just a reminder that you can go to create new site, and you can start the site from scratch using the polygon tools, place marks, paths. Also, you can take the benefits from this kind of paths, MB cables that connect the available areas to the substation, some shortcuts for the roads and the overhead line. You can import your elements. You can import all the elements that you have, or half of the elements of all other KMLs. And you can also upload layers from the KML. You can, like, actually I imported only one layer of and not all the KML, and then I don't have to name it in the KML, because I can name it here. As you see, we will warn you if you don't select the type of polygon that define this. Summarizing the questions, we are going to work in the customization of the OHL inputs, conductors, type of OHL, then also the customization of the step-up substation to select the type of transformers. We definitely are going to launch the different type of structures. This is going to be something that will happen this quarter. And regarding the the interaction with the roads, I will try to connect with Farid. And also regarding the pricing tab with Mohammed. Okay, so I see that there are no more questions. I hope you enjoy these product updates. This webinar is going to be recorded. We will send you the recording to your emails, and also you can reach our customer success team, our business team, directly to me, to my professional email. I hope you enjoy. We try to prioritize always the features that were more requested for our clients. So these kind of sessions for us are super important because we try to connect with you and see if we are aligned with your point of view and also if we are doing things well. Thank you very much for your time. Just go through all the knowledge that we have, methodologies. If not, just reach us by email, and hope you enjoy your afternoon, morning, or evening. Thank you.